Russia and Ukraine have accused each other of violating an Easter truce announced by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ukraine says the shelling and assault attempts continue after the surprise announcement to halt fighting from Saturday evening to midnight Sunday, whereas Moscow accused Ukraine of attacks on Russia. Air raid sirens were heard in Kyiv and Kharkiv on Saturday evening, just after the ceasefire began. President Zelensky says Russian forces continued attacks across several frontline sectors, including 59 shelling incidents and 5 ground assaults. He took to X and said, and I quote, "There is no trust in words coming from Moscow." Kyiv residents voiced doubts over the truce, stating that Russia has never honored such promises in the past.
To be honest, I do not believe that the statement about ceasefire is anyhow connected with Easter and that something humane and spiritual emerged in his nature. I do not think this man has anything to do with humanity. I think ceasefire is a prerequisite for something bad.
Trusting Putin's words is like trusting devil. Today is Holy Easter Day, and it is better to trust God and keep faith in better times. It is difficult to trust him, and you'd better not.
Russia's defense ministry, in turn, said it had repelled attempted assaults by Ukraine and accused Kyiv of launching drones and shells, causing civilian casualties. Russia said Ukrainian units at night made attempts to attack its positions in the Donetsk region, which they repelled. It further accused Ukraine of carrying out 900 strikes with drones. Meanwhile, Russians say they are hoping for peace during Easter.
I believe that someday this madness will end, but not soon. Everything is still uncertain because our relations with Ukraine are far from stable. People are dying. Young men are perishing. It's very hard.
Amid these developments, Russia and Ukraine exchanged over 500 prisoners of war on Saturday in one of the largest prisoner swaps since the war began. 277 Ukrainian troops returned home, while Russia confirmed the release of 246 of its soldiers, including several wounded. When it comes to peace talks, the clock is ticking. The United States has already issued a final warning that peace talks could collapse within days if neither side shows genuine commitment. Ukraine had earlier agreed to a U.S. proposed 30-day truce, which Moscow rejected. Zelensky says if Russia shows genuine commitment to peace, Ukraine will match it and even extend the ceasefire. Dr. Sge Sumlani is a defense expert and director, European Resilience Initiative Center. He's now joining us live from Kyiv. Dr. Sumlani, good to see you and thank you very much for making time for us. What do you make of this blame game over the Easter truce, which has now been broken?
Oh, thank you for having invited me. It's an honor and a pleasure every time to be a guest. Well, already the way how Vladimir Putin announced this truce, so-called truce, I would say, yesterday, speaking to his general, the General Chief of Staff, Gerasimov, was already a way to say that Russia has no intention to keep this truce. Vladimir Putin literally said to Gerasimov, "General, we proclaim the truce and please be ready to respond to Ukrainian provocations." So he literally ordered Gerasimov to search, to look for so-called provocations and attack Ukraine. I personally am in Kyiv now. Yesterday evening, after Vladimir Putin's announcements, there have been 2 air raid sirens in the city. And my friends who are on the front now report that there was no stop by Russian shellings. The Russians shell Ukrainians exactly as they shelled before. We have seen strikes on residential buildings in Kharkiv yesterday evening. So there is nothing different. What is different, Ukrainian army doesn't know now how they should respond to that. They have got orders from President Zelensky to keep this truce and to not attack Russian army. And once again, what my contacts and my sources on the front line say, they observe how Russian troops check the area and send recon groups to find like ways in the minefields, etc. And the Ukrainians do not attack them, knowing that this will be seen as the violation of the truce, and Russians use it to get prepared for the next attacks.
Dr. Sumlani, what do you make of the truce talks? Do you have any hopes in this purported truce talks between the United States and Russia and now Ukraine?
Well, frankly speaking, I do not have any hope. The United States continuously decrease the promises and even now threatens to pull out of the negotiations. We have started with Donald Trump's promise to stop the war within 24 hours after his electoral win, not even after his inauguration, after his electoral win, then 24 hours after inauguration, then 30 days, then 90 days, and now he says, okay, if you don't agree, Russia and Ukraine, on anything, I will go home. That is more or less a sign of apathy and of mistrust. And when we look at what Russia wants to get from Ukraine, Russia sets the absolutely maximum level of demands, demanding not only to keep control on the territories which Russia now occupies, but also demands from Ukraine parts of the territories which are now under Ukraine's control, like the 400,000 city of Zaporizhia or 600,000 city of Kherson, which are capitals of Kherson and Zaporizhia Oblast respectively, and are under Ukraine's control. And Zaporizhia has not even been ever occupied by Russia. So Russia sets the top demands, demanding from Ukraine to give its territory back, even those which are not under Russia's control, and calls it a compromise. So I would not have any hope for the result of these negotiations.
Dr. Sge Sumlani, good to see you. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.